So in this video, I give you tips of what you can do to increase your chances of being selected for a fully funded scholarship in Europe that is based in Belgium. That is called the VLIROUS scholarship. I have talked about the general aspects of this scholarship in my previous video, and I have also linked the website in there. So if you haven't watched this video, please do watch it first and then come and watch this one, because then you get the context of everything. So this video will be in 3 parts. The first part, I'll talk about the eligibility criteria. I know most people rush through these things. When they go on the website, they rush through, they don't read everything. So I'll go through that. And then secondly, I'll go through the criteria. And then lastly, I'll go through motivation tips, which I feel helped me also get the scholarship. So in the eligibility check, please do make sure that you have looked at the 30 eligible countries and that your country is eligible. I know it's Asia, Africa, and Latin America, but some countries are not included in that list. So do not think that, oh, maybe if I just send my application, they will not look at it. They will already put it aside, and you would have wasted time instead of applying for other scholarships that will consider you, that are there in Belgium, as well as in other European countries. So please do look for this. Is your country eligible for this scholarship? That is your country where you have citizenship. And then the next thing is to look at the age. 35 years is the highlighted age. So if you are above 35 and you apply for a bachelor's degree or for a master's degree, there are chances that your application will be rejected or they do not consider it at all. But you can try to apply for the advanced master. Usually these are the 1-year programs, but you can also check, they may have 2-year programs for the advanced master. So please do pay attention to the age limit. And then thirdly, this scholarship is not given to people that have had the opportunity or the chance to study under another scholarship in a university in Belgium or abroad, because this is a leveling scholarship. It's also giving an opportunity to those that have not had the opportunity to study abroad. So if you've studied before, you can try your luck, but I'm just being realistic. You'll be wasting your time. So it's important to look at these things and pay attention to every point. And then that takes me to the next stage, which is the criteria. Okay, so the criteria, this is where you start putting your documents together. So they are looking for someone who has completed their first degree, their bachelor's degree, preferably 4 years. If you want to apply for a master's program, even 3 years, they may consider as well for a master's program. And then 2, if you're applying for an advanced master, you must usually have a 4-year program. Otherwise, they only want people with a master's degree already. So when you have your certificate, then check. The next thing is English proficiency. Is your country a native English speaking country? If no, you need to write the IELTS or other English, you need to write under other English boards. This also depends on the program that you're applying for, because for some programs, you may get a waiver. If you go to your university, you may ask them to give you a waiver, which you may need to do this in time, because I know usually administration at universities is very slow, and this can reduce your chances of applying on time, and it can give you pressure. So in the event that you already go through the programs and you pick the program that you want, you can email them and ask them if you really need to have the IELTS test or the English proficiency test, or you can get a waiver. And then you already have this information in hand. But personally, I encourage to just have your English proficiency test, so you do not have to explain anything else. And then the other thing is working experience. Have you worked before? This is also a criteria that they use. So if you've worked before, especially in government, you have increased chances. You are most preferred, let me say, than if you haven't worked before. But do not be discouraged. If you haven't worked before in government or worked at all, they still consider you. You have to make sure that you craft your motivation letter to the point, which is the step that I get into in the next part. tips that I can help you with on how to make your motivation letter appealing and possibly increase the chances of getting in. How I crafted my motivation letter, the things that I paid most attention to. And this can hopefully help you. And then the last thing is, again, I emphasize this scholarship aims to bring balance in terms of gender. So women are highly encouraged to apply. So I feel like this is also part of the criteria. Females are most preferred. They have a higher chance. So again, if you have a female friend, send them this video. They are wanted. Okay, finally, we get into the motivation tips. So in this video, I'm already assuming that you have your passport, which is the number one thing that is needed when you're then applying for your visa. That's why I didn't mention that part. You already have the basics. And in terms of how much you need to have your visa and everything, that largely depends on the country that you're coming from. For other people, they already have the consulate in their countries. For other people, I know specifically in Zimbabwe, you have to travel to South Africa. So these are the costs that you may also think of already setting aside for when you think of applying for the scholarship. Though it will be reimbursed when you land in Belgium, but you may already think of having this money in hand so that you do not have any other hurdles when you decide you want to apply for this scholarship. So moving on to the motivation letter tips. I will say first, when you find the program that you want to apply for, go through that program. They have all the information usually for these programs. What is the mission statement for the department? This particular program, what is it that they are trying to push for, that they are encouraging? What is their motivation? What are the objectives of this program? And then the scholarship itself, I'll tell you, it's an impact scholarship. So it's big on sustainability. If you mention the word SDG in your motivation letter, that could be your gateway to success. You must know the SDGs. Link your personal values, your career values to one of these SDGs. Is it education? And does it link with the program that you're applying for? Is it empowerment? Is it women emancipation? Is it zero hunger? Is it no poverty? You know, the SDGs, because this is an impact scholarship, as I have mentioned before, and I keep mentioning it because this must be the highlight of your motivation letter. And you must also highlight that you want to create a value. And how are you going to do that? You want to come back to your country and create value. This you must highlight, because the scholarship assumes that people who are applying for this scholarship want to gain knowledge that they can go back to their country and implement. So you must highlight how you are going to help your community, how you are going to put in certain policies back in your country, you know, foster collaboration, all those things. And if you do not have work experience that is direct in government, but you have done something like in volunteering or in the community or with the church even, find ways to highlight and make it shine, you know, to show that you're a person who's always pushing to create value. You are a person who likes to make a difference. This is generally the basics of it all. How or what have you done in the past to make a difference, and what are you willing to do? How far are you willing to go, especially after getting the scholarship? So highlight these things and don't make yourself small. The motivation letter is the time where you shine and make yourself big, from the internships, the traineeships, the volunteering, you know, and what you've done in organizations. If you have done collaborations, this is also important. If you've done stakeholder engagement in any way, it's also important. I think this is mainly for social sciences, the sustainable development program. I think this is what I'm already getting into. But I feel that because the whole scholarship is supporting this kind of projects, it's important that you mention these things. So in my next video, I think I can take you on how to apply at a university in Belgium. I'll use KU Leuven as an example because that is where I studied. And if you're interested in the program that I did, Sustainable Development, I'll also use that as an example to apply for this program. So if you enjoyed this video, you know the just thing to do is to subscribe, like, and share with anyone who may also find it interesting and informative. And until next time, stay safe and thank you.